Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the North American Finals for the Alienware Arena Fall Season. We are into the third place matchup, game number 2, and my goodness, Cumley, that was a really one-sided game.
That is what momentum looks like. Take out your physics books, jot down some notes. Your teacher will give you extra credit. That was a very one-sided game, and you see just how snowbally things like Lee Sin and Rengar can be, especially together.
Dem notes. Yeah, definitely taking some notes. My goodness, like the shields aspects from Janna and Lee Sin, Rengar just going clutch, and 15 of the 27 kills were all Rengar. Just blows my mind. Blows my mind.
We call that the comely school of Rengar.
I have seen you do similar work, sir. I have seen you do similar work. This is current patch. It is the North American server and the finals here just before that end of season patch is ready. And what are you looking forward to most in that end of season patch?
I really want the new champion, Zed. I'm not
Zed?
sure if he's going to be released with it, but I want him.
You can play him on the PvE, I believe.
That is true. I actually haven't installed it. I finally remembered to make my account. You can only make your account the first couple days of a month, and I forgot every single month. But I finally made one. So I gotta go play him.
If I recall, Zed is kind of like those shadow mastery and assassination and a lot of AoE, it seems.
Yeah, a lot of outplay potential, a lot of movement potential, a lot of assassination potential. All things that are on my little checklist of things I want to play.
Sounds like everything rolled into one, served specifically up to Mr. Cumley.
Rank 1 incoming. We do see an instant Rengar ban coming out here. Just instant.
Yep, from Flares, by the way, no less. So it wasn't even...
Oh.
Well, it wasn't even RevGaming this time. So just if you guys are just joining us, we are in the third place game number 2 for the Alienware Fall Season Arena. So the left-hand side, Team Solo Feed, down 0-1 right now up against the purple side, which is going to be RevGaming. And Flares did a very sick Rengar last round. I think they only banned him because they don't have first pick this time, though.
Yeah, that's almost certainly what it was. Yeah, but I'm just surprised they didn't bait the other team into actually getting the ban. You know, if they're not confident in the Rengar, they'll spend the ban on it. But just deciding to get out of there and not have to worry about it. And so we're going to see what picks him up. We did see that the Orianna, which was banned last game, was unfortunately not banned in this game, and so is picked up over here on the blue side.
Yeah, the Orianna did sneak through. Instead, they decided to ban out Karthus and Lee Sin. So, let's see. Shen, Blitzcrank, Alistar, those are the repeat bans. The other one's all situational. But Karthus didn't seem that overpowered to me.
No, he certainly can be. You know, if the game wasn't as snowbally as it was, it may have still been just because of those Karthus ultimates really able to pick off people. It really kind of prevented them from getting back into the game because even if they picked off Karthus, he was still putting out a lot of damage. He was still putting out those ultimates and doing a lot of damage. So kind of just wanting to limiting the scope of what they want to play against, maybe more than necessarily directly countering what happened in the last game.
Indeed. Now, one thing that I'm also looking at here is that there's no Malphite ban.
Oh, no Malphite ban. So definitely going to pick that up there with the Orianna. Yeah, just an absolutely instant decision. There's really no reason not to pick it up now as well. Looks like they are thinking about it, though. I'd be really surprised if they didn't pick up Malphite here.
Well, I saw this a little bit earlier as well, again on the EU realm, but Maokai is pretty much a guaranteed you're going to be in my way button as well. So you do that twisted advance, you put the ball on him, you're going to land wherever that person ends up, despite any kind of flashing or ghosts or walls. But yeah, you're right, they are not going to really think about it too hard. I guess they heard us from a few minutes ago, and they're going to say, oh yeah, that's right, Malphite's just really awesome with Orianna, and this could be a little bit of a difficult game for RevGaming unless they have an answer to this.
Especially when you're playing somebody like Vayne. Vayne, very hyper carry, as we all do know, but you know, you can't cleanse your way out of that knockup from the Malphite stun, and that Wombo combo is basically made to try to kill AD carries, and some are easier to kill than others, and Vayne certainly one of the easiest to blow up. Wombo
combo. That's exactly right. In fact, he just reminded me of my good friend Wombat. Shout out to Wombat.
The Wombat combo.
Well, I wasn't gonna go that far, but Wombo reminded me of Wombat. Wombat was actually the previous Alienware official caster, so yep, good guy Wombat. Now it's me, so screw him. Anyways, so yeah, we are looking at Leona and Vayne for that side. Flair's going to be picking up Katarina for the team, and if I do recall, there were some changes to Katarina, like within the last few patches.
Yeah, a little bit of a damage nerf to both her Q and her W's initial damage. I think it's down by 20, I want to say, at max level, which is a total of 40, which if you're getting resets is a total of more than 40. And so just kind of bringing her back a little bit. I am feeling it a little bit in my Katarina play, but the loss of DFG, I think, hurt her a little bit as well, of course, because she can't really guarantee that reset by blowing up somebody, particularly if she wants to use it on a squishy. She can almost essentially guarantee she'll get at least one reset, and that's kind of gone. So definitely toned back a little bit.
You know, a few months from now, we're not even going to blink at the lack of DFGs, but right now, yeah, I mean, it's taking us a little bit to get used to the fact that we don't have a Deathfire Grasp really as a big, important, huge item anymore. And as you said, you know, those mids are suffering a little bit. So either way, rounding off the roster is Xin Zhao and Tarek. So could this be a Xin jungle or Xin top? What are your ideas?
I would prefer, if Malphite is going to be able to build heavy AP in the top lane, I would much prefer him go into the top lane. And if they pick Sin, she should actually be able to do that. So they may actually depend on who else, of course, over here RevGaming picks, and then kind of go by that. But I much prefer a more AP-oriented Malphite to kind of destroy that AD carry as quickly as possible, especially with something like that Orianna. And it's kind of difficult to do that in the jungle. You know, you're very limited on your gold income, so it can be a little bit difficult to build those AP items. So we're going to have to see exactly how they choose to do this and exactly who comes out. So we do see that Singed, so I'm going to be interested to see what they do.
Oh, it is Singed. Yeah, you're right. So I do think it was Muckers up top last round against Flares, so it will be Singed versus Jhin, and it does look like more of Omega Bacon going to be on that Malphite. So we have both mana'd. No, we don't actually. I'm looking at the dragon. Sicko Scott can be that Shyvana. And yeah, if you usually can't get that Malphite, you go for that Shyvana. But they picked up Shyvana as soon as they saw the Malphite pick. So was this premeditated, or is there some kind of synergy there that I'm not aware of?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. They probably just wanted a really safe, bulky jungler, and so they wanted the I don't know. I actually have no idea.
Okay.
I'm making things up as I go along.
That's half the half the battle is making up. The other half is making everyone else believe it.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, you do a good job. I totally bought that. All right, 3-minute delay now implemented, taking off those summoner spell protectors, and I'm looking at it, and I don't see a teleport this round. I don't see heal. I do see a cleanse.
Yeah, cleanse, pretty common summoner spell on her. Of course, going to be able to do at least that Tarek stun, especially early game. Really going to be able to make her feel a lot safer in lane, not to be able to get caught out by that Tarek stun. But the biggest thing I'm going to be looking for is going to be this top lane, you know, Singe versus Xin Zhao. A lot of it, I feel like, is going to come down to the early game as well as jungle assistance. You know, Shyvana not really going to be able to do much for Singed, but Malphite potentially going to be able to get a kill on the Singed. And Pre-6 is really going to decide who is the boss of that lane. If Xin Zhao is able to put enough pressure on Singed to really kind of force him to not free farm, he's going to look great. He's going to look great throughout the entire game. But if Singed is able to get to that tanky point where he's not really afraid of Xin anymore, it's going to be very awkward for him throughout the rest of the game.
Quite right.
It was an agreement cough.
It was an agreement cough, but I muted it for the stream because I'm good guy Jester.
What a gentleman.
Yeah, I cough all over you, but the viewers get the mute. No worries. Now, this bottom lane, you know, with that Vayne, Leona kind of signifies to me that they're not going to be playing any kind of safe lane, and if they really do want to make good use of Leona, it's either what, going to be jungle timing, or are we just going to see plays being made by both Leona and Swift Break just on their own?
It's certainly possible. You know, Vayne a lot of times thought is not having a very good landing phase, but if you're able to outplay your opponents, well then suddenly you get 1 or 2 kills and you're a monster to deal with and very, very hard to actually handle. So definitely be looking forward to those, especially with something like the ability to cleanse out of that Tarek stun. That's a really good timing to go aggressive because, you know, in order to do that, Tarek has to be relatively close to you. And if you're hugging the side, you'll essentially be able to condemn them into the wall every time. So look for those timings, look for things like that to come out. But of course, Graves and Tarek, not the squishiest lane in the world, so it could be difficult to actually make those plays into kills.
Yeah, Graves' passive definitely adds a little bit of the degree of survivability, and Tarek, of course, being Tarek, that Shatter, Dazzle, Radiance combo can really boost the survivability because they've now killed you. It's good times like that. Other summoner spells, looking at Shyvana, she looks like to me going a bit more aggressive than normal. There's no flash on that Shyvana, so this is, I think it was what, Saint Vicious that originally started doing this with the flash exhaust and going counter jungling?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways you can do it. If you want to try to go for a kill when you find the other jungler, exhaust is fantastic for it. If you want to be able to get away when you get caught counter jungling, then you want to go for flash. And that's really how I decide which summoner I'm going to go on her is, do I feel confident 1v1ing the jungler? And apparently having a lot of confidence going up against that Malphite, not the fastest jungler in the world, really wants to get that level 6 to make its gank super safe. And Shyvana going to do as much as she can to disrupt that.
That's just how I feel about it. And if we recall, last time we saw Lee Sin, he started red, went to blue, and then invaded on top of that very squishy Amumu. We could see something similar here. Malphite, not exactly squishy, but at the same time, we could see that same mentality because we have ourselves a manaless jungler. She has good clear time. She has good movement speed, which is also critical here. And she can really go to town on top of that enemy for the counter jungle. So the other thing that I wanted to look at is flares. He does not have that flash, instead he does have that ghost. I think that's more typical for Singed anyways, but
Ghost is pretty good on Singed.
Singe is just pretty good in general. I've seen jungle Singe, I've seen support Singe, I've seen top Singe, and I think we even had Singe play back at the World Finals.
Yes. Oh, Shy playing that Singe. I believe that was the day I bought Singe. Because it was something that I hadn't picked up yet.
Thousands of others.
Yeah, how do you not buy it after a performance like that? It was amazing.
I couldn't tell you, sir. I couldn't tell you. Oh, well, I can. I don't have the IP, and I'm poor. But, guys, we are here in the Alienware Arena. Third place matchup for North America, representing the Team Blue. Bottom left corner is going to be Team Solo Feed, who is down 0-1 against their competitors. The other guys looking for that $250, Team RevGaming. We have no Rengar this round, Mr. Comley, but we do have a Singe, and as we were saying, Shy made a huge Singe top.
Yeah, and again, a lot of it is going to come down to that early game. If he's able to get that tankiness, where he can go behind the tower, where he can farm as much as he wants, it's going to be very, very strong. We do see it looks like Team Solo Feed is trying to do something here, but not the best angle of approach. If you go that way, they're really going to be able to see you and know exactly what you're doing. Singe kind of baiting them out a little bit here. He does have the ghost to fall back on if he needs to. But looks like this is going to kind of devolve into a fairly safe opener, unless RevGaming messes up this little red invade they got going on.
Never say never. I'm just reorganizing everything. Yeah, that red invade is going to get scouted out, and they are going to have to fall back accordingly. So yeah, no fights going down, but we did get off that early ward. So just like we saw last game, we had that early ward right there in the exact same bush, and RevGaming was able to get a nice timing off against Amumu. We're gonna have to see if we can do something similar here for Team Solo Feed.
Yes.
And that is all you ever need to say, sir.
Correct. And so we do see, kind of the standard starts here. We're going to try to give both of those junglers a smiteless initial buff, so they're able to pick up the second one as quickly as possible. Just like Shyvana is going to be very, very quick in her clears here. And so I'm a little bit worried for Malphite and his jungle. We're going to have to see if he chooses to cut down to that red, or if Shyvana is just going to go to her own.
Oh, it's not going to be smiteless for Omega Bacon. He just used that smite on blue.
Zin apparently really determined to get to that lane, wants to fight that Singe as early as possible, doesn't want to give him any leeway, any free farm, and so choosing to go do that.
Okay, so yeah, bottom lanes, no lane swapping going on down here whatsoever, and both are to their lane in time. Now, Orianna versus the Cat, as you said, the Cat just feeling a little less powerful these days, but I do believe Orianna did get hit by a little bit of a nerf bat as well, although I could be wrong.
Did she?
I might be wrong. Either way, Toys really just skyrocketed her to top tier. I kind of expected it.
Well, Orianna is the best designed champion in League of Legends. I'm not sure if you knew that or not.
Because...
Oh, it's just beautiful. Like the auxiliary resource system of the ball is just used so brilliantly. She's the exact opposite of Syndra, which is a terrible example of how to use alternative resource. It's just bad. It's awful.
Just bad.
I can make a 40-minute video on how bad Syndra is.
I would.
Orianna is beautiful.
I would
like
watch
poetry.
that. I would. We got the spam going down bottom lane, the Taric stun into the buckshot, Swift Break not looking so good, and now this Leona Vayne combo not really finding those opportunities to land an offensive onto this bottom lane if we keep poking like we are, but could be top lane. The junglers are going to meet in this bush. Sicko Scott landing some decent burst on top of Omega Bacon. Here comes Flares, but Jin coming in as well. Sicko Scott is going to be dropping low, but it will be the first blood going to Singed on top of that Malphite. Shyvana has now dropped, and both of our top laners transition to double buff.
Not a situation you see too often where they're landing double buff against double buff. Both of them actually staying in lane as well. Both of them trying to play really offensively here, and nobody managing to get the edge or get the kill. Both are extremely low, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at the flashing in that bot. Down south, however, we tried to make a play on top of Derriere, but expertly deflected from the team solo feed. They are having none of it, and I don't foresee a kill going down to this top. Do you?
Not right now. There's still definitely a possibility anytime there's jungle assistance for either one of them to die, at least for now. Again, if Singed manages to get to that level 6, he's going to be pretty safe, but if he gets to that level 8, level 9, has good momentum, well then suddenly it's going to be very, very, very difficult for you to actually secure the kill.
Poor Soter. They both the bottom laners here for RevGaming have one in each of their skill, and in terms of the creeps, and Vayne is trailing behind a little bit. The zoning pressure coming out from the Taric Graves poke has done a little bit of work, but now it's pushing back out. We got Shyvana coming down to make a case, going right around the ward. This could be devastating because Graves is so far forward.
Yeah, they do have to play very careful. That's part of the problem of this kind of Graves pushing strategy. I don't think anything's going to come from it, though. We will have to wait and see. Taric choosing to sit there and fight against 3 people. Not a very good decision there by that Taric.
Well, Taric actually had to flash in to get the stun on top of Shyvana because he wanted to save Graves. So, you know, job well done. You saved Graves, but then they just decided, okay, well, he has no stun, he has no flash. He's a sitting duck in armor and looking fabulous at that. So they took it. Why not?
I mean, you know, Graves pretty bulky. They don't have any flash in the bottom lane. I think he would have had time to position that a little bit better than to just kind of put himself into the middle of the fray. But again, like you did say, they did at least save Graves, which is certainly a good thing. But we're going to have to see how well he's able to CS here under tower, under pressure of Vayne and Leona.
It shouldn't be too hard. Graves are fairly resilient in that regard, but you know, it's just interesting how we see this now shift because Vayne and Leona, you know, so far pressured, and then within the blink of an eye and one gank later, it's just the exact opposite. Now Graves is under that tower. He's minus his support. Could be a similar story going down in top of this mid. Looking at Cake Pie, he is going to drop a little above half. Mega Bacon not exactly in range to catch Sicko Scott, but the attempt was there.
Yeah, Shyvana is spending a tremendous amount of time trying to gank, only sitting at 16 CS right now compared to 27 on the Malphite. We do see a little bit of a failed kill attempt there on mid. Katarina not able to secure the kill on that Orianna, but going to push her back to base and going to be able to get a little bit of farm and push that into her tower as soon as she leaves.
Yep, 60 hit points on Orianna, and did we get her flash out of that? I think we did. Yeah, we did get the flash out of that, but we also got the ignite out of our Katarina. Wow, I almost called her Ariane. I don't know why. She's totally not an Ari. Mucker's going to get camped out a little bit up top. And, you know, it's exactly as you say. Sicko Scott just wandering around the map. He has 20 creeps to his name, but he's also 2 assists. That's pretty big.
Yeah, however, you know, sitting at level 4 right now on the Shyvana, the brush is warded and he's just sitting in it, wasting a lot of time. Really, once Shyvana gets that level 6, she becomes much, much more powerful in ganks, in counter jungling. And you have to find that balance between pressuring your lanes and actually getting things done. And I think she's veering a little bit much towards pressuring the lanes. Leona with a very nice grab here on bottom. Graves going to have to burn that flash to get away. And they're turning it around here on the Vayne, but not enough to secure the kill.
Now everyone is going to be dropping low, but Summoner's being used pretty much every trick in the book. We are clawing our way to trying to get those kills in this bot lane. It feels a lot more even this early on. When you don't have that Lee Sin catapulting and snowballing, it's looking pretty good. There goes the collateral damage as well as the ignite on top of Leona. How did Isaac live? 31
Ooh.
hit points. Really well played there from Team Solo Feed. Derriere coming out with the double. Yeah, he got the double there.
Yeah, that's really, really important. We talked about how if Vayne manages to get that early momentum, she can be a really big bully in the lane, but she doesn't have it now. Graves is firmly in the lead in that respect, and so it's gonna be really nice for that Graves. He's gonna be able to be a little bit of a bully in the lane himself now.
I'm just looking at the creep scores here, and our top lane is definitely going in toward Flair's favor, although Flair's dropping a little bit low. Does he have that Madness Potion? He does, but it's not going to matter whatsoever with Omega Bacon coming in with that unstoppable force. So 4 kills to 2, but the original point here is the creep scores going back and forth between the two teams. It does look like overall, I don't know, like it goes back and forth. Top lane is definitely going to RevGaming, but bottom lane definitely going to Solo Feed.
Yeah, and so the balance there is, well, okay, well, which one do we need? Oh, we should do Shyvana with a very nice ultimate here onto Cakepie, playing that Orianna, but going to be able to get away unless Katarina is able to connect. Her Shampoo is down here for a little bit, but doesn't need it, has the flash, and is able to clean up on that Orianna.
Well, yep, definitely that flash into that. I was looking at the wrong champion, but you know, Sicko Scott, you know, he's making really good cases across the board. Derriere got hit real hard in this bottom lane as they were trying to go and assist their fallen comrade, but now it's going to be pretty much the entire team down here looking for that revenge. So Tier going to be coming out, just trying to do a little bit of diversionary tactics. He will be dropping. Will his sacrifice go in vain? It probably will, as we have that flash over the wall from Muckers. Down goes Swift Break, and it is going to be now Katarina running for her life. She does have the blue. She does have her Shunbo. Sicko Scott there to help her out.
A lot of indecisiveness there from RevGaming. They weren't sure if they wanted to go in or not, and so people just kind of died without doing any damage. They are pressuring the jungle here. Team Solo Feed looking to make something happen.
Yeah, and here's Muckers going for Sicko Scott. No ignite, but he does get exhausted, so another Summoner's Burn off of that. You're Not Buttered gets hit by that Dazzle. Dropping extremely low. Muckers does not have that flash to chase, so both of them will escape with their life. But here comes Singe from the top lane, who, by the way, was pushing down this bot via proxy. He went right behind. He did not care whatsoever because there's absolutely no one there to pressure him. And if you notice, we have a little bit of a swap. Cakepie up top.
Yeah, moving things around. They wanted to hold that lane while all that action was going down in bottom. There was a little subtle play there by Xin that I really liked. First 2 auto attacks going onto the Shyvana, and then as soon as Katarina ultimates, turns that third attack for the knockup, canceling the Katarina ultimate instantly, preventing a lot of her damage from coming out onto him.
Yeah, it's just good mechanics. It's good knowledge of what to do, when to do it, what you have available, and what you can do to get the best out of that situation. So kudos right there, that Xin Zhao. But score 6-3, gold pretty much dead even. We got 3 kills centered on that Xin, 2 on Graves, and it's pretty much spread across the board for RevGaming. So again, very close game. We don't have that snowball effect going on because, again, that game 1 was really different. If you told me these are the same teams, I might not have believed you so coming.
Yeah. You can definitely tell the bans and picks a little bit better here this game for Team Solo Feed. You know, they're able to have the much more early control of the game. It's not rolling away from them. But if you look at where the gold is going, we see a little bit more of condension over here on Team Solo Feed. They have both that Xin and the Graves really kind of getting multiple kills, a lot of the gold going to them, a little bit more spread out over on the other team.
Apparently Derriere got his best ADC, which is that attack damage carry. So Graves apparently his best champion, which I think we were talking about this in game number 1. You need to do your research on your opponents.
Yeah, it's really important to know not only what they play, but what they're weak against. If you really want to do your research well, don't just look at what they play, but what they lose to. And we do see a nice little flip there from Singe. Going to be enough to secure the kill here on Xin, I do imagine. The kick coming out and the ultimate coming out from Shyvana. Going to be enough.
Oh.
And a counter dive going to be able to clean up a little bit from Malphite.
I don't think we needed to do a dragon form into that because Shyvana does pay for it with her life. I do think Flair's Poison and Ignite did have that, but Omega Bacon going to be just warding off any kind of pushing into this top lane. Flair's has absolutely no qualms with making you chase him whatsoever. But bottom lane, Ixix is going to be dropping to that Vayne. Flair is still going to be taking a lot of damage, but what happened in this bot lane does look like Tarek just got caught out. Do we have that Leona ult? It is on cooldown, so it was used there.
Yeah, it was a nice little condemn into the wall that was able to secure the kill on Tarek. He still had a little bit of trouble killing him, but was able to secure it at just the last moment. We're seeing a lot of aggressive play in every single lane. Every single lane, not afraid to trade, not afraid to go in the kill. We see Katarina and Orianna using their ults on each other. We see the top lane constantly diving and calling for jungler assistance. A lot of action going on in every single lane.
Oh, Butter going to go for the dive. He has to get out of that turret range. Is it going to be enough for Cake Pie? That one caster minion helps bring her down to 30 hit points, but Cake Pie will survive, and we got flashing hit point bars everywhere. So much simultaneous action going down, but since we do have a few people dead on top of Team Solo Fid, Team Solo
Right,
Fid,
it's hard, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Sicko Scott starts off this dragon, and we're going to get ourselves a little bit of extra global gold in that regard.
Yes, and so that is definitely good to see. A couple skill order things. We do see Vayne is maxing that silver bolts first, going to be able to do that percent HP damage. Very good against those tanky targets like Tarek and Graves. We do see that Xin is maxing his E first. I don't even know what that's called. Audacious Charge, which puts out quite a bit of damage.
Yep. I cannot believe your audacity. Just like the sound recording program, kind of like that. Yeah, we're just going to be flipping muckers over our head here, Singe. What has Singe actually gone? Heart of Gold, has himself the Cage's Lucky Pick, and the Chain Vest. So he's building up quite nicely in that regard. It's really hard for muckers to really go to town on top of him with that Chain Vest, plus 123 armor to boot.
Yeah, and thankfully his E does do magic damage, so he is still able to harass that Singe and get his HP a little bit low. But you see that once the ultimate comes out from him, he's very tanky. Is he going to be able to get away from this? Malphite uses the ultimate to secure the kill, and of course that will be enough.
Yeah, after that Ghost got popped, it was no question. You had to get it off. Tarek going to come mid with the help of that Orianna, throwing down the Radiance and as well as the Dazzle Shatter. Is it going to be enough for Butter? The flash comes out. Cake Pie has no qualms, but that Shunpo will be enough to make her live. So, you know, again, wandering going out, we're seeing a lot of lane interactions and ultimates everywhere. Ultimates everywhere. All the ultimates.
All the ultimates indeed. And you know something, we actually do see Swiftbreak caught out here a little bit in that mid lane. The Vayne going for the kill on Orianna, but just it's not going to happen, and now in a lot of danger to this Malphite and Tarek combo. Has to use the flash to get away.
So maybe I should change that to all the summoners. I think, look, we have flash on our top lane, flash on our dragon, and flash on Graves, and that's it. So, okay, maybe not all of them. But either way, Sotir getting a brilliant stun into this bottom lane. You're Not Butters should be able to pick up this Derriere kill. We're looking for that stun on top of him, and that should be it. Purple caster minions OP.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Katarina move into this bottom lane a little bit earlier. We saw time and time again using summoners, using ultimates, using cooldowns on that Orianna. And not securing the kills from it. And so finally realizes that maybe she should just roam instead and gets an easy kill on that Graves. You know, it's so powerful for Katarina to roam, especially to that bottom lane. There's just so many avenues that they can't really see you coming from every angle.
Man, Flares just makes it look too easy. Just run by everyone, fart in their faces, and they die. That's pretty much what he's doing. And that's setting up almost a kill here for You're Not Butter. He's not going to stay under that tower range, but Cake Pie, you know, sitting at that half health mark, does absolutely no health regen to her name.
Yeah, has a little Tarek to give her a little bit of a green light before heading back, but as you said, no regen besides that.
Yeah, Muckers up top is going to be pushing in Flares as we do have that bot tower going down. First two towers of the game, both going to go to RevGaming. You can see that they're trying to think a little bit more concise here. It's not exactly that snowball game that we had in the game number one, but overall just so much action spread out pretty much evenly across all the lanes. We're having the top invades, the mid invades, the bottom invades, dragons, objectives, and we're only 17 minutes into this game coming.
Yeah, but somebody call a doctor because the map has a case of chickenpox right now. Very good warning so far by RevGaming. I'm very impressed with that.
Looking for the kill. Can we get it? Yes, the last true shot. The silver bolt here from Swiftbreak will be enough. Going for the double, and Vayne, you know, he might not have had that early game advantage, but definitely looking strong here more mid game. It will be Sotir with that kill. Mid lane, it does look like double kill going down for that Malphite. Going to be trying to go on top of Flares. Flares will be able to get the revenge on top of Cake Pie, but now, Omega Bacon just running away from this Singe. This Singe is such a monster.
Does not care about that tower one bit, barely affecting his HP at all. Gonna be able to get the kill. You see right there the power of Singed. You know, Orianna did a fantastic job playing against that Shyvana. Her play was very, very well to get away and survive there. And then Singed just walks up and laughs in her face and murders her.
Yep, laughs, farts, goes to the bank. In
There you go.
in that order. If you don't do it in that order, it's kind of a problem then.
We do see a lot of pressure coming out bot lane as well. You know, once they have that big fight mid, they know people are dying, they just go ahead and push that bottom tower, put as much pressure on it as they can. The warding that they have allows them to do that kind of thing. They're really able to play aggressively because they're going to know exactly who is going where and when.
Yeah, I do like that chicken pox joke. A lot of wards on the map, as you said. Axex going for his own ward, not going to be, if they have anything to do with it, not going to be living out of this one. The great stun coming out from Soter. The Silver Bolt's not enough to pick him up. Let's see if we got a Zodiac Lance, and nope, it's going to be that shield bash. Soter picking up 2 kills in a row, lands it on top of Derriere, but it's going to get interrupted here by Omega Bacon Goo. Can he turn this around? We got Orianna coming in from behind. This could be pretty devastating for Swift Break, but no, they're going to be putting it all on top of Sicko Scott.
Malphite ultimate has just come off cooldown. I'd really like to see them try to clean up. We see Xin Zhao is going hard, but Malphite just not really on the same page as him, and so a flash kind of wasted there on Muckers.
Yeah, that was a wasted flash. No qualms about that. And as I said, it's all about those timings, right? That if that unstoppable force was up earlier, we might have seen a dead Vayne. But going on top of Sicko Scott like that, probably not the best of ideas.
Probably not the best of it. We see Singe just pushing past the tower, just really wants to put pressure on the second tier tower, punishing them for putting too many resources. We do see Soter getting melted here. Hopefully, yeah, finally, a little bit late on there, and Katarina going to be able to clean up at least one. Will she be able to get 2? Yes, with Shyvana here, this should be an easy kill on Graves. I hope so.
Maybe. I think he's going to go around and then quick dash back over the wall, but nope, he's just going to go all the way as far as he can over to Cakepie. Will it keep him alive? The Taric heal just barely keeps him up, but he does go down. Sicko Scott not looking so good, but neither is Cakepie. You're Not Butter looking for the kill on top of Cakepie. There goes the dragon. There goes the robot girl. Now it's You're Not Butter versus Ixix, and I don't really have my money on top of that one. Top lane, Muckers versus Flares. Flares dropping extremely low, but is it going to be enough? The poison, it's ticking. 20 hit points, 27. It looks like Muckers will be able to get out of this one.
The flip animation starting for Singed and just doesn't finish at the last second as he chooses to back away and not tank that tower. So just almost getting the kill, but not quite.
Not quite. That seems to be the story of every player against Singed. It's not quite. You can't quite kill him, and then he'll just turn around, and sometimes he just can't quite kill you. Sometimes. I don't know. Did you notice that he has that Sunfire cape, though? And now the Force of Nature? Oh my god.
Gonna be pretty difficult to kill, I believe is the technical way to put it.
Impossible to kill is how I would put it. Oh man, oh man, oh man. 14-13 as the score. We see about a 5,000 gold difference between the two teams, and I gotta say, I am definitely impressed. 21 minutes in, and we're not even close to a surrender this round. Very, very even game. We're going for that dragon. Blue team will be able to steal it from RevGaming, but Soter does have to back off. He did use the solar flare to try to get off that stun, and maybe that extra damage will land him some assists. It will. 2 for 0 right there, but down goes the dragon lady. She is going to be dropping. Swift Break going to come in here, is going to get that double on top of Taric, and now running for her life is going to use out that cleanse. Mucker's not going to be chasing this, but Flares is here as well, and if there's anything that's more scary than Vayne at this point, it's going to be Flares.
Yeah, but they are both very low at this point. They have to be careful. Malphite does actually manage to secure the kill with the Graves onto Singe, so very nice play by him.
Oh, so low on the hit points. You can tell Vayne is just itching to get in there, but here comes Soter from behind their own lines, but I don't think he's going to have it. Vayne is not there. He might be able to stall this out, and I think that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to try to take out the creep wave, but nope. Too much damage coming out of both Muckers as well as that Graves, and Soter... Valiant attempts there, but
very brave Leona here.
Is that yeah, I think that's pretty fitting. Leona, brave. She has that big shield, sun goddess or whatever she is, sun avatar. Laughs.
Yeah.
The laughing is important. You must laugh at retreating enemies.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bind laugh to the right hand side of my keyboard so I can just slap it when I'm playing Singe or
Screw accuracy, just hit any button and it laughs.
Exactly.
So
I ain't
yeah,
got time to hit a single key. We do see the tower is going down very, very, very quickly here for RevGaming. They're doing a very nice job of pressing what they perceive to be a nice mid-game advantage here. They're very bulky. They're very good in team fights. They have the vein to put out a lot of damage with that Katarina. Katarina not going for a haunting, guys, which is a little bit surprising for me. You know, per gold, that item is just so efficient and so wonderful that I'm almost always picking that up instead of the Abyssal Scepter early. In my own play, but apparently wants to get that magic resist up a little bit earlier for the kind of Orianna and Malphite combination that might be targeted at her. But, you know, with that Vayne, that is such a bait for that kind of combo, I don't think I would necessarily be quite as scared as she seems to be of it, but choosing to go for that Abyssal Scepter.
so we're having a 5-man gank on top of flares. This is happening, Cumley.
All right, let's count it. Let's see how long this takes. Put on some nice romantic music. Looks like he might actually go down here. He is going to get dissolved, and of course that enables that Katarina to try. No kills coming out for her, unfortunately, though.
It enables
so she
Katarina
wasn't able to get
die.
that reset.
Yeah.
To die a horrible, horrible death. And are they going to be trying to get a Baron off of this or not? They are a little bit low, and they don't really have anything like a Karthus or even any Briggle's Lanterns that lets them kind of take that Baron, and so unfortunately they're not. But hopefully they'll press this into some kind of advantage right now.
Man, that's a statement though right there. When the enemy team has to pull a 5-man gank on top of flares, you know that your job is done. You know that you're just doing a fantastic job of screwing over your enemies. Sotair gonna be throwing out that sunlight, looking for that stun. Swift Break doing his best kiting, but there's just so many hit point bars in front of him and any kind of kills. We are gonna be forcing out that flash from Sotair, but the buckshot still does grab him at the tail end. Either way, both of them extremely low, but they do not drop. And that is very important for that push, that they do not drop.
Yeah, that flare's coming back up while they don't have their cooldowns. They're going to have to get out of there, just not able to fight that Cinch again. And so they are going to back off. But, you know, it does prove that he is quite mortal on that Cinch. He's not able to run around and do whatever he wants. If it was solo queue, he'd be raging in chat about how it takes 5 to kill him and how dare they. But thankfully, this is a respectful competitive game. We do see that RevGaming is going right here for this Baron. They know that the other team was low. They know the other team was backing off to go shop. And that's always a very, very strong timing to go try a Baron.
Alright, 6,000 hit points, but they are going to have to give it up. They do got that pink ward, so they do know that it was going down. And Katarina dropping without pretty much any fight. Flares is going to be dropping low, but they don't quite have all the ultimates, but it still will be enough to take him down. Now we're also going to be catching out Vayne as well. So that's another turnaround that is just not going for RevGaming. 3 for 1 in that turnabout, and they didn't even get the Baron.
Yeah, you know, Katarina kind of disappointing me this game. The play doesn't seem very confident. The most important thing with Katarina play is it needs to look very fluid, very confident, very determined. Every move you do needs to be very calculated and correct, essentially. You know, not carrying any wards. Would have been able to just put a ward in Shempo out of the Baron pit if she was carrying wards. Probably the most overpowered item on Katarina is always carry those wards. You need to put him down to catch people out. You need to put him down for movement. And just not able to really capitalize on her skill set this game. And so kills just aren't coming together for her.
Leona throwing down the sunlight, looking for that stun, got the slow instead. Dario going to be dropping. Katarina finally putting another kill on top of that scoreboard. Cake Pie is not going to be surviving out of this one, but was able to take down Sotair with her. A little bit of a miscalculated play there from Sotair, but top lane, I think, did we lose the tower? Yes, we did. Jhin was able to push it all the way down. Muckers is now going to be running for his life against Flares, but we also have Tarek in and around waiting at that Baron. Is Jhin going to be going down? No, he's going to think better of that and head upwards. That could have been a very easy kill. And again, we're going to see a Dragon attempt. Oh, Baron attempt.
Yeah, I foresee this being a pretty free Baron here for him. You know, Xin Zhao and Tarek, not exactly the cleanup crew, I suspect. And yeah, so they are going to be able to pick up that Baron, and then Flares is going to chase. He does have that speed boost as well as the slow to really let him connect with the Xin, and Xin going to die. And you see Flares immediately, as soon as he flips, just immediately moves on to the next target. Trusts his team, knows he's going to die, and is not afraid to immediately switch onto that Tarek.
Yeah, he's looking for the kill. Oh, that was an unstoppable force that did not hit anything from Omega Bacon. He does get that ball, but it is way too late for it to go down. You're Not Butter able to clean up 1 kill, 2 kills, and is dropped. But here goes Swift Break. He's looking for the kill on top of Bacon. 1, 2, just needs one more auto attack. The tumble, and there is the counter ace from RevGaming. There is what they wanted. That was a 5-for-1. They had that Baron. Excellent plays from Flares as well as that Katarina, but that unstoppable force hit nobody. Nobody.
Yeah, it's such a sad spell when it misses because it doesn't get that big explosion. It's just kind of a sad little thunk. And it makes me feel sad all over. And so they're going to get at least one inhibitor off this. They do have Baron buff as well, so they're regenerating quite a bit. And they're not really going to be afraid even of these reses coming out here from Team Solo Feed. So not in a good spot.
That was a great stun coming out from Soter, but just a little bit too far to try to capitalize on it for another kill. But you are right, you know, that one inhibitor, that was a very devastating push coming up from RevGaming. Able to really just get back into this game. And, well, you know, gold-wise, maybe they were never out of it, but they have ballooned the lead up to 7,000 kills, pretty much dead even. And in terms of, you know, the farm, you know, it's a little bit more RevGaming preferred here, but overall much closer than we saw game 1.
Yeah, definitely a much closer game. It looks like Shyvana is going to get caught over here on Sicko Scott, and he is going to go down.
Oh, Sotir is going to get caught out here by Cakepie. Does have to flash on over, but he does get hit by that shockwave just at the end. Tarek might be able to even pick up the kill here, but Dragon's been agitated as well. Who's the Dragon attacking? It's not Soter. Soter running for his life. If he loses that, Oracle's great stun coming out from him. It could be really devastating. And yes, he will be dropping. Dario able to pick him up. I think it was a one-shot crit. And now with him down, they've taken out 2 team members of RevGaming. Could be a very easy Dragon, but they're looking to put the pressure. RevGaming is not going to go quietly into this one.
Yeah, Team Solo Feed overextending there a little bit. Xin is actually, well, looks like he might get away here. A little bit surprised by that. Katarina doing a very nice job securing the kill. They're going to clean up on Cake as well. We'll be able to get a triple kill from there. And that is the kind of Katarina play you want to see. You're going to be able to probably get the rest of the team killed here. I mean,
beautiful plays. Oh, that butter.
Katarina, ladies and gentlemen.
I am vastly entertained by that. Katarina, no jokes there. We're going to proxy the creeps right behind here. Flares, not a problem. Picking it all up with Deadly Steel? Flashing Steel? Sinister Steel. It was something steel. And yeah, wow. That was impressive, man. That was impressive.
Yeah, it's funny because they were perfectly spaced out from like Shenpo distance. So one at a time, they were exactly as close as they needed to be. If one of them had been like, you know what, I'm going to die, so I'm going to turn around and run the other way and sacrifice myself, may have been able to stop that chain that Katarina was able to do. But of course, recognizing that they weren't, pick them off one by one. And now suddenly Team Solo Feed is looking to be in a very difficult position.
Oh, it was looking so good for them too, but these last 2 aces have really put a dent into their base. 2 inhibitors down. We're working away on that Nexus with super creeps, and they don't even care. They're going for the kills. We're looking for Sicko Scott. He does not have that dragon form up quite yet. 94 rage, focus, whatever the dragon stuff is, and it will be Dario are going to be dropping to Flares once again. So yeah, as long as we keep them busy, those super creeps are going to be knocking on the door of the Team Solo Feed, and that will secure them that win in fairly short order.
As we say that, 2 of the most important members of their team do die. They're both the Vayne as well as the Cinch, but it's just so much pressure being put on their base. Every lane is being pushed. Their jungle belongs to the other team. It's going to be very difficult for Team Solo Feed here.
Great combination of teamwork to take down that Tarek, and there we go. Sicko Scott able to pick up that kill. Sicko Scott also baiting in Cakepie as well as Muckers. Not looking good for them. There's the Shunpo once more. Are we going to be able to grab the kill? Muckers, can you take Sicko Scott with it? No, it will be a 3rd ace in a row. Your Nut Butter has ballooned to a 12-5 score, and this is probably it right here. Yeah, GG, well played. The forfeit comes out, and that means RevGaming wins 2-0 for the 3rd place game in the fall season of Alienware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine Cumley like in a Fawn's jacket going, yeah.
I don't think I could pull that off, but I'll try anyway.
Brilliantly played. RevGaming winning themselves $250 for their fall season participation in the Alienware arena. Guys, if you think you can do better than these guys, you should probably sign up for that Alienware winter season. I do believe games start next week or the week after. 8 weeks of point play, and then into the 32 top teams, comparing them down to 4, and about $2,000 on prize pool for your efforts. It's great competitive practice. It's great, mindset, getting you used to those competitive games. And the only way to get to that elite tier of League of Legends is you got to go through these stepping stones. You got to develop those skills. So Alienware, a great place to do it.
Yeah, definitely. There is a lot of hunger for those lower level teams to find tournaments exactly like this where they can really try out their skills. And I'm definitely looking forward to the Season 3 Ranked 5s as well. I think that'll be really fun.
Yes, yeah, that's right. The ranked fives teams now actually count for something in the next season. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Good times will abound. All right, so once again, congratulations, RevGaming. We are going to have the finals coming up next here on Twitch TV, FourCourtJester for the Alienware NA. And I'm trying to remember the team names. Who do we actually have? NA Fall Championship. It is going to be Olympus 5 versus Team Classic. Team Classic. So we're going to get that going for you here, ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Comely and FourCourtJester are not going anywhere, and neither should you. So we'll see you guys after the break. Enjoy some music. Enjoy some League of Legends.